No, but I'm getting ready to be.
Good. Really, hold it at the 3. I love it. Countdown. Wow. Wow, Be Live. That's fun. This is a cool program, Be Live. There's StreamYard Be Live. I'm also on the back link of Be Live where we all share our different podcasts and programs. Oh, this is hilarious. I just got to take a picture of it. How long can you be on 3? So the question is, how long can you be at the number 3 getting ready to do an interview with Allyson Roberts and there we go. Hi, everyone. I wanted to happy Monday, first of all, right? Today is Monday, June
7th.
Who can help me? June 7th. We leave on Friday for a 6-week vacation, like just a crazy adventure. But I'm so excited. So I am with Allyson Roberts. And guess what? You're with Allyson too.
Yay!
And Allyson is going to share with us. She's a top 100 coach in transformation. And I've asked Allyson, since we're also live on LinkedIn, to talk a little bit about the importance of transformation and business and how they go hand in hand. Because Allyson, I love business so much. I'm happy to help my competition. That's how much I love business. I am a SCORE business mentor certified. There's 10,000 of us throughout the United States. So there's just something about business that I love. It's my hobby. So anyways, so tell us about yourself. So I'm so glad you connected with me. What exactly do you do?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I help people change their minds. That's it in a nutshell. Because the person that you're walking around today, you have all of your old stories from childhood and college and high school and first marriage and second marriage and all those things. And you cannot become the person that you want to be until you change your thoughts. You got to change your thoughts. You got to change your belief system. And so I have a whole system of doing that. It's science combined with spirituality and a lot of humor. But we dive in, we go to the deep end of the swimming pool, and I help people realize where they are, what they currently believe today, how that's serving them, because there's some beliefs that we have that serve us. We hold on to those tightly. And then we change our brain, we change our neurotransmitters to become the person that we want to be.
Wow. So have you ever worked with someone that actually is not coachable? And at what point do you realize that you're unable to change someone's mind, or can
Nope.
you
I mean,
change
I don't
everyone?
change the mind. You change your own mind. I just teach you, how to do it. And yes, I have worked with people who are uncoachable, and those people are the ones who are waiting to be rescued. They want a magic pill. They don't want to put the work in. They whine and complain all the time that, their life is horrible and they're not getting anything out of it. And we happily part ways when that happens because, that's your reptilian brain has 3 lies. I can't, it's too hard, and I don't know how. So when we're in the I can't, it's too hard, I don't know how, and we just refuse to divorce that, then I can't help someone who's stuck in that mindset.
Okay, so here's the question I have for you. Could you share like a case study so I can kind of really understand who that person looks like and then the change that they were able
Absolutely.
to make? Because I think that would help me.
The story that I love the most that is business related is that I was working with a school teacher, and both of her parents were school teachers and her grandmother was a school teacher, and it just kind of went back. And so as school teachers are not paid enough money, that's a whole nother coffee conversation. But she was stuck in this money mindset that because she was a school teacher, she was only allowed to make this much money. And I said, well, what if, because that's a big question I ask all the time, what if you were a teacher and you could make six figures? And she's like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I was like, but what if? But what if you could? And she was like, well, if I could, then I would. And I was like, all right. Because when someone's willing, when they're willing to just be like, well, if I could, then that opens up their brain to start thinking different thoughts. And so I left it there, and we worked on a few other things that she had going on. We were in a session one day, and she said, Allyson, I woke up this morning and I was taking a walk. She's like, I had an idea, and this is how it works. And I said, okay, what is that? And she said, I think I'm going to open up my own school. And I was like, all right. And she's like, yeah, there's not a school for like teenagers who have been, pushed through school, but they don't really know anything. She's like, I'm going to open that school. And she said, I've been looking at, I've been going online. I've been looking at grants. I've been doing all this stuff. And so I was like, that's fantastic. Well, that wasn't what she ended up doing. What she ended up doing was she opened up a school, but it wasn't for that purpose. But she started a 501c3 for that purpose 2 years later. So she's a multimillionaire.
What?
Yeah, she has a chain of private schools, and that's how it works. I mean, and believe me, that it wasn't just like 1, 2, 3. I mean, she and I had to go in. We had to break down a lot of her, not only her money story, but her self-worth and her self-esteem, because our self-worth equals our financial worth. So if we're walking around like, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough, I'll never be good enough, then we don't have enough money. We'll never have enough money. We'll never have wealth because we're not good enough for it. So, she had a lot of that stuff going on too. So we had to, at the same time that I was over here kind of playing with her. Well, what if we were also digging into, her self story and changing that.
Okay, so just for everyone to understand, this show is like no prep needed. I have not really, yes, I looked at Allyson's website, but this is the first time I'm meeting Allyson. I didn't give her a set of questions to answer. I'm not a believer in that. I like to just go on just like we normally would. So Allyson, I really think that this is so important. And so I'm 58, going to be 59. Oh, actually this
Happy
month.
birthday.
Oh, actually like 21 days. That's crazy. Thank you. So I'm finally coming to the realization how important this is. And my next question is kind of a curious question. The reason why you really need a coach is because family members really aren't going to walk you through. Your family and friends, unless you have a friend that's your bestie is a coach that can really help you. But explain the reason for that, because usually your family, sometimes your friends can try to squash you. And so I really, at this stage, now I am very jealous of our younger generation that has access to so many brilliant coaches, but I'm older, and so I didn't have the access. So it's still very new to me. It's like a new kind of, feels like a new science, the whole idea of it, mindset and money. But yeah, I realize I have those blocks. I am your ideal client because it is so new to me. So why is it that friends and families don't understand this and they can't help each other, and that you do need to have a coach?
Usually, and it's not like, child abuse or anything, but usually, our stuck mindset comes from our family. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to wait till your birthday to get a present. You only eat off the china at Christmas time, save the expensive candle for later. I mean, those types of stories come from our family unit. So when we try to go outside of that mindset, they're trying to keep us safe. Oh, don't go and do that. That's, what if you fall, what if the world is really flat and you fall off? So, they have the greatest of intentions, but that mindset is not going to get you where you want to go. And then as far as friends are concerned, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just the way it is. A lot of times they can get like really insecure and jealous. So if they watch us, succeeding on a level that they would never even think about succeeding, um, you know, they try to hold us back, not because they don't love us, but just for their own stuff, their own insecurity, their own whatever's happening with them. So the other thing though, I mean, like I have my own coaches and you know, I don't believe in, I know that I can't get where I want to go without my own coaches. I have a money coach and I have a personal coach because I can't see my blind spots. And yeah. And so,
Ooh,
you're going down the
that's a good
road
quote.
and you want to change lanes. And I'm like, hey, is there anybody over there so I can get over, And so life is very much that way too. When we want to change lanes, we can't see what we can't see. So that's why a lot of times coaches are fantastic because, my own personal coach, a lot of times she'll say, Allyson, look at it this way instead. And then when I put that new set of glasses on, I'm like, wow, there's things that I just never would have thought of on my own because we only know what we know.
Today, and we're on LinkedIn because this also revolves around business
Absolutely.
too. So important. I got mixed message from my parents. I got messages of saving money, pay suppliers first, be thrifty, and then I saw the generous side of them. They never let anyone else treat them. They've always treated very generous with their money, giving, and so I definitely feel complicated and confused, and so does my son too. I know he has a hard time saving because we want to give everyone so much and do the best of what we saw with my parents, and somehow we're not doing the other part, which was my parents did teach me to save, but I just never was good at it. So I look forward to getting help on that because I think that could really change a lot of my direction in business and it's probably why I donate my time so much is because I get that feeling of being generous, but I'll be I'll be really like living under a bridge, still giving money away. I don't know, it's really difficult. But when we talk about business, I'd like to know more about your did I miss the I have to fix this. Wait, I think your website. Oh shoot, hold on. Okay, I have to go back and fix your website. So Allyson, you wrote a book. Do you happen to have
I
your book
don't.
next to
It's
you by any chance?
electronic. So you can go. Yeah. So if you go to my
Oh,
website,
smart.
AllysonRoberts.com is sent to you.
I gotta fix that. Okay, bear with me for a second. I've got to just fix what I did right there because for some reason, is it? Yeah, see how it's not. So I have to take. Sorry, guys. I'm just taking. So Allyson, tell us about shilting. I'm not swearing by the chance. Okay, tell us about
Shilt is a
shilting.
word that I trademarked. It's the combination of shame and guilt. Yeah, because you don't have one without the other, and the other without the other. So people shilt all over themselves. The basis of all of our stuff is shame and guilt, and so it's people will say, like for instance, with you saying I can't save money and I give away all my money, I give away all my time. If I were coaching you, I would ask you, why can't you come first? And there's something, and your parents also, like generosity is generosity, and it's wonderful, it's fantastic. But if we are 100% generous and we never allow ourselves to receive, then that is a symptom of shame and or guilt. It's a symptom of shilt. So I would walk through that process and we would dissect that down and figure out, why can't you receive and what's going on in there that needs to be healed? Because if you can't receive dinner from a friend, then how in the world are you going to receive $100,000 raise? Or, how are you going to build $1 million business if you can't receive money from from the universe.
I feel like you hit a nail right on the head. And funny enough, so in 2016, I graduated from the Protocol School of Washington, which was amazing. And one of the things that I took away, which just sounds so crazy, is going back to my mom and telling my mom that when people offer her a gift, that it's okay for her to say, thank you so much, and that she doesn't have to say, I don't. But I never put the two and two together. That so oh my gosh, this really what am I feeling right now? I can't even explain it. It's like understanding. I actually understand exactly what you're saying, and then realizing this is exactly what I believe was going on with my mom. The guilt of receiving that I don't know what it stemmed from, but she did not. Even if you bought my mom a gift, she would try so hard. And finally, at the end, so in 2016, and my mom passed away a year and a few months after that, I finally got her to just encourage my mom every little thing that people brought her to say thank you, and that she'll enjoy it, and how much I'll think of you, and to get that. And I remember her face like just looking so quizzical, like, really, Adrienne? Just I wish that we could have communicate with everyone. This is a big deal. I want to hear about Atlanta. So what are you doing in Atlanta? Because I may want to join you. I want to be a guest in the
Yes.
audience. Tell me,
Yes.
tell
So
me.
I'm having a live event. It is October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So that's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. People are like, why didn't you do it on a weekend? Because faith is first, faith and family are first. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to be teaching people exactly what we just talked about, like the insidious ways that shame and guilt show up in our lives. You don't even know that you're in it, and you don't even know that that's what's stopping you. So I'm going to be teaching all of this. I'm also debuting my book collaboration with 13 other women. It's called Behind the Power, and they're going to be the speakers during lunch. And they've all worked with me. They're going to be sharing how they've overcome amazing, incredible things in just this year. All of their lives have done this drastic shift. So it's going to be really exciting. You can go to behindthepowerevent.com, behindthepowerevent.com. And it's live and virtual. I have a virtual option too. So if you're still, worried about COVID, or you just don't want to travel or whatever, you can join us virtually.
I feel like, you know what, I've noticed that right before COVID hit, I really had like practice. It sounds crazy, but I really practiced. I got to a point where I could sit 8 hours and focus on like a program, like a full day, focus, no phone, just be in the minute, enjoy the people around me. And then COVID hit, and it's like, my focus is so off. So I think for this purpose, for me, I definitely would want to go live. I am vaccinated, but I feel like I would get the most out of it.
It's in Atlanta. It's at 330 Terminus. It's a beautiful building. It used to be a mill, an old mill, and it's brick, and it's just, they've restored it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I'm going to get my tickets. I'm really excited about this. I feel like this is kind of a really important step for me. So I'm really, really feeling like this would be fantastic for me. Oh, so we were talking. So I actually think that Clubhouse would be a good place also for you to offer the program, so you can see if your other speakers are on Clubhouse, and then you could actually create a club around this event, and then you can monetize it in a variety of ways, and then it could go live. A lot of people from all around the world. So if you're looking for invites are easy. I have plenty of invites, and you don't have to have an iPhone anymore. You can now have an Android, and I'm happy to go over all the tips and tricks. And then you'll also find there's a lot of fantastic other talent too in that area that you may not know of if you needed a DJ or music or whatever. So unique, very, very cool. So I think that the Clubhouse could be another alternative way. A lot of people are doing the virtual Zoom, and then they're adding the Clubhouse to it while they're going live.
Beautiful.
So talk about a cool hybrid. So just
cool.
a thought. Wow. So I actually, now tell me about, so you've got the book, The Magic in You. And is that the book that we're just talking about?
No, The Magic in You is my book. It's
Wow.
It's my book by itself. So That book walks people all the way through, like really looking at yourself. So many people are so afraid to spend time with themselves and diving in. It's like, and that's because of shame and guilt. They don't want to see what's in there. So they would much rather just, drink the bottle of wine, or, go on Amazon and shop for hours, or, scroll through social media, or go outside and talk to the neighbor, anything but looking at themselves. And so The Magic in You is a self-help memoir. It's really an opportunity for people to look at themselves, and it's free. If you go onto my website, you get the book. It's sent to you in your email. So it's a place to start. Like if you just don't know where to start, it's a great place to just start there.
I love that. I'm just feeling myself now of just feeling comfortable. So I always question, is it the age that I'm old enough? I was at the pool the other day, and there was last week a woman said to me, I was talking about my hair and like coloring the grays and all of that, and I asked her about her salon, and she told me I couldn't afford her. And I realized that I really didn't like her. But not just because she said that, because that was a really weird and awful thing to say to someone. And, it is horrible. But I also just, so that was like last week. So yesterday when I went to the pool, I realized, you know what? I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm like of the great age right now where I'm not feeling like, oh, I wish that could be in her group, or that I just looked at her and realized, yeah, that's not someone I'd want to hang around with. So enjoy the day. I enjoyed everything. And I just was glad that I wasn't in her circle, because I found that circle was not something that I would like. But I kind of thought to myself, well, that comes with the maturity of age, that like I'm able to do that. So I'm always curious about that, because I could see my own stages of the 20, 30, 40s, and 50s. And oh my gosh, wait, next year it's going to be 60. Okay, I got to get used to that part. That's the mindset too, of like you're getting older, but you don't necessarily feel older. And I still feel like a 12-year-old. So, but my point is that we do all have different ages. And so I'm stuck in thinking, well, now I can learn it. But a lot of you're working with people that are younger, right? In their 30s, that get to embrace who they are and understand, and really can move forward in their wealth and health.
30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. My oldest client is 77.
Mm-hmm. Really? Oh, that's beautiful. Are you mostly working with male or female?
I want to work with everybody. Yeah. And so I'm finally starting to get men who are brave enough to step forward and be like, Allyson, I want to work with you. And I'm like, fantastic. Because, if it's just women, if women are the only people in the world who are being coached, we have a big problem on our hands. So, I meet all these females and they're like, I'm just working with women. I'm just working with women. I even meet men coaches and they're like, the majority of my clients are women. And I'm like, where are the men? Like, where are the men? Come on. And I know that it's not because they think that they are perfect. I know it's because, they're scared. So yeah. So it's like, there's nothing to be scared of.
Interesting. And my question wasn't even politically correct. I apologize for saying that. I never meant to make the segments like that. Do you mind, before we go, just a little bit of your background, because you have it on your Facebook page, a little bit about what you've been through, and is what you've been through important to what you coach now?
I think
and
so.
How you see the world?
I mean, just in a very Cliff Note version. I was engaged to be married when I was 19, and I discovered I was pregnant. And through a series of events that I won't get into now, maybe we'll have another conversation about this. I ended up living in my car, and then I was rescued out of that situation. But I started using mindset in that situation. And I really do believe that because of my mindset work, I ended up, with the incredible life that I have now. And so it's very important. It's extremely important for people to know, like, it doesn't matter how many times you've been married or divorced, or how many times you filed for bankruptcy, or, if you can't walk, or if whatever your circumstance is, you're not your circumstance. And this is like the most powerful tool that you have. And you have to start first with your mind. If you don't start with your mind, then everything else is not going to work.
Incredible lessons, Allyson. You are so enjoyable. I actually I'm serious about October. I feel like this is something that I absolutely need. And I hope that everyone's listening will at least go on and get thank you for the ebooks. That's really very, very generous to offer. The Magic in You is a help book. So do you think it would be good for my 15-year-old? Little too young? Okay. I appreciate that. Okay. I wish there was more for that age too, because that could be a tough year as they're dealing with everything going on. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. I am really excited that we connected, and I really look forward. I'm going to follow everything. So, do you also have a Facebook
group? My Facebook group is Outrageous Results.
Okay.
Yep. People can just join. Yep.
And can people just join? Okay. All right. So I'll get all of that information and put it in the notes. And I really appreciate what you're doing. And I feel like you're going to be my coach soon. So I look forward to that, because I definitely could see, when you talk to me, you'll see, I just want to make sure I'm coachable. I don't know why, but that kind of makes me, I get nervous. Like, am I able to do the work? Okay, good. Okay. Maybe just by asking that question, is that like, I guess knowing that I care enough to know to ask that question probably makes sense, right? All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day and week. And I'll think of you when I drive kind of towards Atlanta. Are you in Atlanta? Oh, that's so awesome. There is one of my favorite admins I have to do a shout out for is Skyline. His name's Strategically. Skyline is out of Clubhouse, and he's in Atlanta. What a wonderful, young, smart man. And I hope that you guys connected, because he is doing some amazing things. He's an influencer and on Clubhouse, so I love going into his rooms. So, all right, have a great rest of the day, and thank you so much
for having me.
Thank you. Oh, I don't think you realize how much of